professional that it seems like you're just a salesperson.
Exactly. You want to keep it down to earth and relax as much as possible, which is why practicing it is a good idea, because when you've got it sort of routine inside of you, it's much more easy to deliver.
Carolyn, what if you've just been fired by your previous employer? Do you have to be honest about that, and how do you position that in a job interview?
You have to be honest if they do ask you why you've left your job, but you want to stay positive on this topic. You don't want to come in as someone who has a lot of resentment or you've got a grudge against your former employer. If they ask you, why you're looking for a job, a good response is to say you're looking for that next opportunity, to take that next step in your career, to apply your skills in a different way.
You want to come across as a team player?
Yes. Coming across as a team player is always key, but also showing leadership skills also impresses employers. So if you can come up with examples of both in your interview, that will just, those are bonus points basically.
And obviously, finally, you want to look like a hard worker who'll be committed to the mission of the company you're interviewing with.
Exactly, which is why, again, showing specific examples of the results that you perform or that you had at your previous company will really impress your employer, because they see that you come in and you do have an impact that you will produce.
Carolyn Bigda, thank you so much. Again, I've learned something new. For Howdini.com, I'm Lisa Birnbach.
Hope you enjoy learning more about this occupation, which is the title in our career video profile series.
Nothing is more important than the proper nurturing of a child. And whether serving as a daycare center employee, camp counselor, or teacher aide, nurturing is exactly what a child care worker does. Finger painting, show and tell, and group projects are much more than just activities to keep kids busy. They help children develop communication skills, build self-confidence, and learn how to work with others. In addition to good teaching skills, child care workers need to be able to deal patiently with difficult children or demanding parents. Of course, it's also important to truly enjoy working with kids. Being a child care worker isn't always easy, but few things are more satisfying than knowing that you've helped a young mind and body strengthen and grow.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Stingus, Managing Director of Emergency Teachers Australia, and I'm here to tell you how to connect to Australia's premier online teacher employment service provider. Emergencyteachers.com is a #1 website worldwide. Our service is unique, it's innovative, it will save you time, money, and it's simple to use. All you need to do is go to our website, emergencyteachers.com.au, and complete an online staff profile promoting all your qualifications and experience. From there, schools from around the world and within Australia can contact you directly for work. This means you get to keep all your CRT pay in your pockets. No commissions, no ongoing fees, no contracts, no additional expenditure. And as an added bonus, we send your details to 3,500 schools throughout the year as you've chosen on your online profile. As well, we send your details to all relevant vacancies advertised in Saturday's Age of the Employment Supplement. This 52 weeks throughout the year. So your details are going to the laptops of daily organisers and principals every Monday morning. Now, that's value. So we are saving you time and money in applying for jobs. So enjoy your free time, resting assured that ETA staff are busy working to increase your employment scope each week. Also, we have the largest and comprehensive list of free resources available to you. Now, resources such as literacy and numeracy resources, job application resources, career resources, that's just to mention a few. So visit our #1 website, emergencyteachers.com.au, and consider our services. Thank you.
What do you enjoy about being a rural GP?
Well, I enjoy the close contact you've got with everybody in the community. It's you get to know them so much better than you get to know them in cities. The practice is much more autonomous than you get in a city environment as well. You get to choose more what you can and can't do. The variety of work is incredible. You see everything from something small to having major accidents and major trauma, and you get to follow the patients up afterwards. You know what the family thinks about it, and you can treat the whole family as one unit. And yeah, it's basically
variety of work, flexibility of lifestyle, treating patients who are very appreciative.
There are two things that I enjoy in rural GP. One, I work for a small community. That means I know each and every patient by their name, and then I get enormous amount of respect in the society wherever I go. And then I can help them from head to toe, whatever they get, and I know about their medical conditions, and I keep them following, and I can speak to the family, and I will get to know the outcome of the disease, so I keep a track. And on the clinical side of it, I see A to Z of all the medical conditions. Right, and I get to handle them by myself, and I get enormous amounts of support from the surrounding. For example, from the process hospitals, the consultants, and non-clinical people like the council or the nursing staff or anybody. So therefore, that's from A to Z what the medical book says, that we get to know the clinical conditions. So these are the two aspects that I enjoy being a rural GP.
Welcome to New South Wales. New South Wales is home to more than 6.6 million people and covers an area of over 800,000 square kilometres, incorporating metropolitan, rural and outback areas. New South Wales Health is offering job opportunities to overseas nurses from all specialities who are looking for a challenge and the opportunity to experience a different way of life.
What prompted me to come to Australia? It's a fantastic country, English speaking, which always helps, and the weather's awesome because it's winter time now, and it's the same temperature as it is in the UK in the summer.
I needed to improve my listening skills. I also needed to get a chance to get to like the Western world.
We have 5 children, and we thought Australia was a better way of life for our children than England.
Arriving in a new country can be a daunting proposition. New South Wales Health eases the transition of nurses into a new country and culture and a new work environment.
Well, we try to be as helpful and supportive as we can, organising an overseas nurse to come out in. We organise obviously everything to do with their visas and everything like that.
We do try to offer them on-site accommodation for the first few months so that they have an opportunity to settle in, a chance to look around to see where exactly they would like to locate and live, have a chance to choose schooling if they have school-aged children, so they're not having to rush into anything.
You go into a brand new country, you want somewhere, because you don't know the area around the hospitals, so it's nice to get a place on hospital grounds, and it's a chance to save up money.
When I arrived here, I had 5 children and I had no furniture for 3 months. All the nurses here rallied round. They lent me bedding, they lent me beds, sofas, cutlery, tables and chairs, bits and pieces to keep us going until our furniture arrived.
We have some 2-bedroom married quarters, and we have 4-bedroom share units, which are individual bedrooms and a shared living areas. We certainly can tee them up with local real estates and put them in touch with areas that they can.
April, Richard and Brad, thank you for talking to Living Down Under. So tell me about your journey and what brought you to living here on the Gold Coast.
We came to the Gold Coast in September 2008 and we decided to come and live here because my husband was actually born here. So it's relatively easy for myself and the children to get our visas to come over. And we chose the Gold Coast literally by chance. We had planned initially to go to the Sunshine Coast, and once we got here, we never ever got there yet. So
oh, you need to come up and make a trip.
Yeah, so we're actually we've got a trip to Noosa booked next weekend.
Oh,
so it's taken us a year and a half to actually get to where we were planning to go in the first place. But everything's here on the Gold Coast, especially with teenage children.
Yeah.
So.
And you managed to find work okay on your trip?
I found work within the first 3 weeks of being here, but unfortunately Richard struggled.
I found it a bit
very
harder.
Hard, yeah.
What do you do, Richard?
Well, I'm an apprentice bricklayer and carpenter.
Yeah.
And the qualifications I thought would just transfer straight over, but they don't. You've got to actually go through, I think it's Queensland are different to the other states in Australia as well.
Yeah, you need your skills assessment.
Yeah, you've got to change it over to what they call a Cert 3, and then you've got to have, to do any building or construction work, you've got to have what they call a BSA licence as well. But I've settled in now. It's taken me longer than what I thought, and with me being Australian, I thought I'd be the one that settles in really, really easily, but it didn't work out that way.
So tell me, how did you find work in the end?
I was probably going for about 30 jobs per week.
Really?
And getting quite a few knockbacks, not because of what skills I had or anything, because obviously I was majorly qualified.
Because volume of applicants?
Yeah, but there's, I think the actual construction trade on the Gold Coast and pretty much in Australia, it had taken a bit of a nosedive by then, pretty similar to what happened in the UK
because
with the recession.
Because of the credit crunch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because things did go stale for a while.
So I don't think it's the country on a whole. I think it's just the way the climate was when we actually moved here.
Yeah,
so
bad timing.
I don't want to frighten everyone to think, oh no, we're not going because of that, because it's not the case. But if everyone was to do their homework and just make sure that they found out all the relevant qualifications that they need prior to getting here and have them all done before they arrive. Because obviously it's so much easier when you're applying for a job if you've got a Queensland Cert 3 and your blue card and things like that, if you've got that already in place, it's something that you can just move
There's day
straight forward
courses
with.
to get the blue card, isn't there,
There
when you
is,
first get here?
You can actually do it on the internet.
Yeah, you can.
do
Yeah,
it
there's-
online.
yeah.
But the BSA licence you can't actually do till you get over here. So that would be one of the first things to do when you arrive is to take your Cert 3s into the Federation of Master Builders and get your BSA licence. And then people can move forward from there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And so tell me what are you actually doing as a carpenter, because it's a big field. So what are you actually doing now?
Well, I've actually gone the other way now. I'm an assistant branch manager for a builder suppliers.
Oh, okay.
So I've gone down a completely different route. When I first arrived, I'd done about 5 months bricklaying because I'm an apprentice bricklayer. So I gave that a bit of a try, and then I went into carpentry with a friend of mine, and we was working in Brisbane on a big tower block in Brisbane. And so I've tried lots of little things to slot in, and
you
just
found your field now. You're happy?
yeah. I mean, I'm in an office. I'm not being baked outside.
Yeah,
so
that is an issue, isn't it, for a lot of tradies that come over? We're not used to the sunshine
No.
and the intense heat, in particular through our summer months.
That's
that are
right.
quite long compared to the English summer.
It is, and there's no way of getting out of the shade,
No.
especially if you're an inside trade like a carpenter. Obviously, you're inside the building. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
But if you're working on the roofs, or if you're a bricklayer working outside,
Or if you're a carpenter constructing the houses that
That's
are
right, yeah,
generally
doing
made
the-
of wood.
doing the roof work, there's no way out of it. And drink plenty of water. That's the only advice. Loads of water.
Yeah, oh, that's good. And Brad, tell me about your journey, because you're 15 now. You came when you were, well, nearly 15. You came when you were 13. What's school like? Is it different to England?
Well, it's much different than it is in England, because I don't know really. Everything's different. Like I don't know. Just the sun's out all the time. It's never cold, so I'm always outside playing and stuff. It's not like stuck indoors if it's raining in school, and that's really.
Yeah, and your structure of the day is a little different, is it not? With I know
Yeah.
in England you probably start at 9 and then you've got a more 11s as we would call it, whereas here you have little lunch and big lunch.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Like we have a first lunch is like after the first lesson we have like 20 minutes just to obviously like get our brains active again. Then after the third and fourth lessons we just have like our big 45-minute lunch. Then on to fourth lesson really.
And what time do you finish school?
It's weird because the bell goes at exactly 3:03.
3:03. And so what time are you on the beach then?
Most of the time on the weekend we're always at the beach.
Yeah.
Don't live too near the beach where we
It's
live
a hard
now, though.
life.
Oh, it's tough,
always
isn't
on
it?
the
It's
beach.
tough
What should
in
we do this
Australia.
weekend? Let's go on the beach.
I know, you can be on the beach for 3:30, I would imagine, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely would if I
Did you
could.
go surfing at all?
And I haven't tried. Well, I tried it a couple of times, but haven't really worked out yet. Then.
What we found here, sorry to cut in, but what we found here is that you've got 5 major theme parks.
Yeah.
So after school, we've bought a yearly pass.
Oh, okay.
And Bradley can go with his friends after school in the school holidays. You sort of drop them off in the mornings
Yeah.
to Wet and Wild or Movie World. They can spend the whole day there. But you know, you get in for nothing once you've got the yearly pass, and it doesn't cost anything. There's so much stuff here for us to do that's actually free of charge.
Yeah, and
You know.
they do special offers for Queensland residents,
Yes,
don't they,
yeah.
the theme parks,
So-
which is really good.
And that's one thing that we really like the most about it, is that, for example, yesterday we went to Springbrook Mountain. It took us 4 hours to walk around, although it was quite tiring. It was quite good fun, you know,
Yeah.
you get to see different parts of the country as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go far from your own doorstep to see them.
That's
so.
right.
And you brought a little friend home with you, didn't you?
Who was that then?
We went into a rock pool and April had a leech stuck to her foot.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just a little extra there.
Yeah, a bit of Aussie nature coming
Absolutely.
through.
No, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
And have you got any troubles with snake spiders or anything like that?
Nope.
You're all good
We've
with
not
that?
seen a snake since we've been here. Touch wood.
Yeah. I think there's a big misconception back home, and people think that, you know, there's kangaroos running down the street and there's snakes in every parkland, and it's just not like
not the
that.
case, no.
I mean, if you
No.
go in the bush, you know, fair enough, but not around town.
Well, we've got a dog and we take him along the nature reserves and, you know, he's in and out the bushes and what have you, and we still haven't ever seen a snake, which I'm very pleased about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all good here in Australia, hey guys?
Oh, brilliant.
Definitely.
Best move we ever made.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for talking to Living Down Under today.
You're more than welcome. Thank you
you.
for having us.
Thank you. Heidi and Rob, thank you for talking to Living Down Under today. So you're quite new to Australia and you've settled here on the Gold Coast in January. So tell me, what were your main reasons for leaving the UK?
We just wanted a bit of outdoor life for the family, lovely weather and just the opportunities that we didn't have in the UK, really.
So what have you found? What's different here living on the Gold Coast?
We found it's more relaxed for the family. We can get out to the beach, we can go swimming in the sea, and we're not in the rat race that we were in the UK, where we're working 70 hours a week plus, and only having the weekends to the family, where you're still shopping and getting your chores done. And we find it's a better lifestyle for us as a family to be here in Australia.
Fantastic. And what have you found work-wise here? Did you manage to find work quite easily, or was it quite difficult for you guys?
Yeah, we've both found work really easy. I'm in the motor trade, so there's plenty of opportunities here.
There's cars everywhere around the world, hey?
Yes. And Heidi's found work really well as well, so.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about you as a family? You've managed to find a heap of friends, I can see, for the people that have come down here today.
Yeah.
Was that easy, or?
Yeah, we joined quite a few forums before we came here on the internet that allows you to meet people before you get here and share other experiences with other people. And that helped us have sort of a friend base before we got here, which was great. It really helped sort of settle because they showed us where to go and how to find things. Which made
they're
it
like the yellow pages really when you get here, aren't they, those friends?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and
really
you didn't do any panic friends, or have you done a little bit of that maybe, a few panic friends?
No, not really. We've been really lucky. We found the whole transition really easy,
really
obviously. Being located and coming here, it was really good. And having that friend database that we used when we got here was really helpful.
And you've chosen to live on Pacific Pines. It's quite a popular area for migrants to settle. So why did you guys pick that particular area?
It's very much focused on young families. And obviously having the families, and it's got really good schooling there. And again, through the forums, a lot of people had relocated there and said how happy they were there.
Yeah, it's recommended, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so we were just like, we've got to base ourselves somewhere and start somewhere, so that seemed the best place for us.
Fantastic. And you little ones, tell me what you think about Australia.
I find it really fun, and it's more funner than England because you can go outside and enjoy the hot weather.
So you like playing in the garden? Have you got a trampoline yet?
No, we don't have one yet.
But we've got a pool, so that's always good.
It's really good fun.
Yeah, and are you still swimming now?
Yeah.
Are you really? You can tell you're new. My kids haven't been in for a couple of months now. Oh, that's so good. So have you become a really good swimmer since you arrived in Australia?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And Luke is like a water baby. He's always in there.
Are you?
And you're playing more sports,
you can tell.
aren't you?
Look at you, 10. So tell me how you actually began your journey and how you come to live in Australia.
Well, we did a lot of research on the internet. And then we found a relocation company called Gold Coast Relocations, and they gave us a lot of advice on where's good to settle and where to get information from, and then we used them to help us find our property on Pacific Pines, and it was brilliant. It made the transition so much easier because they met us when we got here, and we got a welcome pack with all things to start us off with until we found our feet. Things like doctors and things that you don't really think of, but if you needed it, you'd need to know how to find it quickly. So that really helped us, definitely in the first few weeks, to sort of find our feet and get over our jet lag.
It definitely took the pressure from initially landing in a new country and then trying to find everything yourself, having that one focus point really helped us as a family.
Yeah, and we had their
settle.
direct number as well. To any problems, we could just phone them and call them, and it was really nice and reassuring.
Yeah, that's a fantastic service. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that just gives you that sense of security when you get to it. You know, you've
Yeah.
come 12,000 miles. You know, you
Definitely.
can't get much further around the world, can you?
And a
than
lot
we
of people that
actually
come
do.
here don't have jobs,
Yeah.
so it then can be slightly harder to get a rental. And with the contacts that Gold Coast Relocations had, it meant that we were able to get a rental the minute we landed. We walked
Yeah.
straight into it.
Yeah, without the red tape.
Yeah, and it just made it so much easier because of the contacts they've got. So we didn't have to pay extra money to go into a hotel. We had a rental to go straight into, which was brilliant. Yeah.
With television and Odstar, hey kids?
Yeah.
The same channels as in England.
It isn't the same, or it is?
It is,
It is
yeah.
the same channels, yeah. What's your favourite? My kids like iCarly and...
I like all of them, kind of.
I like H2O just
Yeah, same.
because it's Australian. It's filmed in SeaWorld just
Yeah.
round the corner.
We've been there,
How
haven't we?
good's that?
Yeah. That's another
Yeah.
good thing, having all the theme parks
I
on
like
your doorstep.
Lewis, he's funny. He's a funny
Oh,
guy,
good.
that Lewis. Fantastic, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where is the moment we needed the most?
When we hear about pedestrians being hurt on the road, we tend to think of them as young and careless, old and slow. The truth is, though, that each year in Victoria, over 1,000 alert and agile people are seriously hurt or killed simply because they take unnecessary chances nearly every time they cross the road. And when many of them choose to take that one chance too many, they're so close to a crossing that a few more steps could save their life. So always take the time to take those few extra steps. Use a crossing.
Signal as you approach the parking space and pull up next to the car ahead of the space, keeping the back of your front seat lined up with the back of the other car's front seat. Leave 2 to 3 feet between your car and the car next to you. Back up slowly, turning your wheel all the way to the right. Continue backing up until the back of your front door is lined up with the rear bumper of the car next to you. Then turn the wheel away from the curb and continue to back into the space. Straighten the wheels and center yourself between the other cars.
Let's take an overhead graphical look at merging. First, you enter the entrance ramp. These often include sharp curves that require you to greatly reduce your speed. Located directly after the entrance ramp is the short acceleration lane. This lane allows you time to accelerate to appropriate speeds before merging. At this point, you should signal that you intend to merge onto the expressway. The merge area is directly ahead of the acceleration lane and can be identified by broken white lines replacing solid white lines. You should try to merge onto the expressway at the speed of expressway traffic. Once you find an appropriate gap, merge into the lane. At high speeds, it's important to know that minimal steering input is necessary when changing lanes. Abrupt steering movements may cause total loss of control of your vehicle.
When approaching an intersection with a green light, always be prepared for the light to turn yellow and know whether you're going to stop or drive through the intersection. Pick a telephone pole, roadway sign, or some other landmark as a point of no return. Here's an example. As the car approaches the intersection, the driver selects this road sign as the point of no return. If the light turns yellow before the driver reaches this sign, then he will stop at the intersection. If the light turns yellow after he has already passed this road sign, he will proceed through the intersection.
When more than one car is stopped at a four-way intersection, the car that arrived first has the right-of-way. If 2 cars come to a stop at a four-way intersection at the same time, the car on the right has the right-of-way. If 2 cars come to a stop at the same time at a T intersection, the car on the through road has the right-of-way. If you encounter an uncontrolled intersection, that is, an intersection without signs or signals, be prepared to stop for other vehicles, because you never know if they'll stop or not.
වීසා පිළිබඳ විස්තරයක්
මෙම කෙටි වීඩියෝ පටෙහි ඔස්ට්‍රේලියානු වීසා බලපත්‍රයක් සඳහා අයදුම් කිරීම සඳහා ඔබ විසින් දැනගත යුතු තොරතුරු ඇතුළත් වෙයි. දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ වෙබ් අඩවියේ විවිධ වීසා බලපත්‍ර සහ ඒවා සඳහා අයදුම් කිරීමට ඇති අවශ්‍යතාවන් සහ වීසා පත්‍රලාභීන්ගේ යුතුකම් සම්බන්ධ තොරතුරු ඇතුළත් වෙයි. වීසා බලපත්‍රයක් අයදුම් කිරීමට ප්‍රථමයෙන් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් හැකිතරම් තොරතුරු සොයා ගැනීම වැදගත් වෙයි. සමහර වීසා බලපත්‍ර සඳහා අයදුම්පත් ගාස්තුවක් නොමැති වුවත් බොහෝ අයදුම්පත් සම්බන්ධයෙන් ගාස්තුවක් ගෙවිය යුතුයි. අයදුම්පත් ගාස්තුව නැවත ගෙවනු නොලැබේ. සියලුම තොරතුරු අපගේ වෙබ් අඩවියේ ඇත. වීසා අයදුම්පතේ ඔබ විසින් සපයන තොරතුරු හැකිතරම් නිවැරදි සහ සම්පූර්ණ විය යුතු අතර සියලුම උපකාරක ලියකියවිලි ඇතුළත් කර තිබීම වැදගත් වෙයි. එසේ නොවුවහොත් ඔබගේ අයදුම්පත ප්‍රමාද වීම හෝ ප්‍රතික්ෂේප වීම සිදුවිය හැකි අතර කාලය මුදල් වැයීම හා බලාපොරොත්තු සුන්වීමද සිදුවිය හැකියි. බොහෝ තාවකාලික වීසා බලපත් සම්බන්ධයෙන් අයදුම්පත් කාර්යාවලිය සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සරලයි. වීසා අයදුම්පතක් ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමට තරම් ඔබට විශ්වාසයක් නොමැතිනම් සංක්‍රමණ නියෝජිතයෙකුගේ හෝ නියෝජිතයෙකු ලෙස ලියාපදිංචි වූ නීතිඥයෙකුගේ සහාය ලබා ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය විය හැකියි. ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාවේ ගාස්තුවකට හෝ ප්‍රතිලාභයකට සංක්‍රමණ උපදෙස් ලබා දෙන ඕනෑම අයෙකු Office of the Migration Agents Registration Authority ආයතනයේ ලියාපදිංචි වී සිටිය යුතුයි.